Welcome back, and of course, your comments are welcome. We are live on X Spaces, on YouTube, of course, on myjoyonline.com. This afternoon, scores of residents of Gbenyiri have sought refuge at the local police station. At least 10 people have been killed, and many more displaced by heavy firefighting in the farming community in the Sola Tuna Kaba district of the Savannah region. The clashes, reportedly fueled by a long-standing land dispute, is escalating despite military and police deployment to contain the violence. Here is an eyewitness, Jima Joseph.
I was in Sola yesterday for a funeral, and during the process, we saw people running helter-skelter because of the fight that erupted at Gbenyiri. So I took time to also run away. Fortunately, where I reside is closer to the police station. I saw women and children just lying down on the floor crying. It was an eyesore. I couldn't take it anymore, so I also went off the scene. It was very pathetic yesterday at the police station when I saw women and children carrying their babies. Others were crying. I can't even say it.
Were they men among them?
There were no men. All the men fled, leaving their wives and children. And that's one thing that touched my heart that I pray should never happen. So we all plead that we should have peace in Punjalali and also in the entire Ghana.
Right, so let me bring you the very latest on this matter. Let me take you live there for more on this. And our Savannah regional correspondent, Isaac Nonya, joins me via Zoom. So, Isaac, what is the situation now as we speak? All right, so we'll try and bring Isaac back on the line for us to understand the situation there, because we are told that 10 people have been killed so far in this renewed clashes in the Gbenyiri community, and we'll try and understand what really is going on there. And let me bring in Isaac now. Isaac, if you can hear me, can you bring us up to speed on the situation so far? Right, we'll try and bring Isaac on if you have a stable connection to him. But security analyst Richard Kumado is also joining us for a conversation around this subject. So, Richard, I mean, something triggers something. And today, as we speak right now, we are counting 9 deaths. I mean, is it a surprise to you?
No, definitely, I'm not surprised at all. What shocked me a little bit earlier on was why we couldn't stop it in the first place. But recording deaths in the particular zone we are talking about and in the manner it has taken place and the total number involved, I wasn't surprised at all. Land disputes has been one of the major internal security red flags we have picked up over the years. National security coordinators of different kinds have tried to resolve it, and we have not dealt with it appropriately as a people. I think as a country, if you take away chieftaincy crashes and culture issues, land disputes, and activities of land grabbers and land guards have major issues on our national security red flags, and we need to do something at it.
All right. So I mean, this is clearly a land matter. That's led to the deaths of 10 individuals. What, in your estimation, should be done now? The Ministry of Interior has yet to speak on this matter.
Normally, when people commit crimes, whether the root cause has been a dispute over land or chieftaincy or traditional issue, the state lacks the ability to prosecute people who flout our laws. And I have been a consultant in this environment for many years. And I've always maintained that non-punishable offenses will always rationalize bad behavior and promote antisocial tendencies. To the extent that you can take a gun and shoot somebody and walk away free because you know nothing can be done about you, we are creating the premises where all manner of persons will look for guns, whether legitimate or illegitimate means, in order to defend themselves or in order to cause casualties to other people. And these are some of the things we have seen across many parts of this country, where the least thing, people are looking for guns to take on some other people, and they kill them. And once they kill them, we bury them, and politicians play lip service with it, and nothing is seen to be done. And that is why you are seeing this particular one in a manner it has taken place in a very long time.
Mr. Kumando, please hold it for me. Let me cross over to the Savannah region where my colleague Isaac Nonya joins me. Isaac, we have a stable connection to you now. Perhaps for those who are tuning in for the very first time and getting to understand the situation, can you walk us from what happened, let's say from over the weekend, and the situation as we speak now?
Yes, it all boils down to a land dispute between the developer and another person, and the thing go to Chief Palace for resolution. And it escalated through the entire district and to our joint district called Bole, and that's where we are now.
Well, Isaac, the connection to you is still not the best. We'll try and see if we can rather get you on phone so we can hear you clearly. It looks like the internet and the Zoom is not working perfectly this afternoon. But Mr. Kumando, this raises issues about arms in wrong hands. I mean, the Small Arms Commission, they've been talking about this. We appear to have so much arms in the hands of people who are not supposed to have them. So the least provocation, then, you know, they resort to the use of firearms to settle disputes.
The case, we would need a new framework when it comes to arms control and the regulatory guidelines on who owns arms, who import arms into this country, and what the arms registration procedure should be. There are people whose legitimate business is to import arms into this country. Enhanced due diligence in that particular area would need to be performed. Then there are people who want to own arms. Nobody do background checks on them. Then you also have the registration and the renewal purposes, which has become a major issue in this country. I think if you take away the Small Arms Commission, and you also look at the rapid nature of the local manufacturers and the speed at which they are producing a bit more sophisticated arms, then you might be sitting on a time bomb where people have access to all manner of arms and they are willing to use them at the least cost, knowing very well that nothing will be done to them. And it's a major internal security issue we have to deal with.
And to think that this particular incident took place in an area where we have military and police deployments, is it a case that they don't want to intervene now, or what?
Yeah, definitely. Security operation failure do not mean that there's intelligence failure. Probably the intelligence would have been provided, but those in the front line to take a decision might hesitate for one or two reasons we may not know, or they might want to restrict the people because this issue has come out before. How they resolve it was important. The personalities involved is important. Where it has gotten to now is important. Those behind it and the ownership of this land is also important. And these are things that inform law enforcement officers what to do and not to do. But by and large, I agree that when it comes to crashes such as this, there are criminal elements who want to take advantage of the process, and they have to be stopped at all costs. But let's ask ourselves, we passed the Lands Act, it didn't help us. We have a whole ministry for chieftaincy affairs, it didn't help us. Apart from Ashanti region where the land belongs to the stew, Ashanti Hini, in many parts of this country, lands belong to families, individuals, and clans and tribes. And we need to look at it again. What has been the distribution of these lands and the acquisition and the ownership? And I think it's so simple thing we need to do, but we have left it for a very long time. And that is why it's creating many problems for us.
All right, let me bring in Isaac again. Hopefully we can have a better connection to him. So Isaac, you were telling us a story, if you can go on. Hello, Isaac.
You.
Yeah, Isaac, if you can hear me, I mean, you were giving us an update early on. If you can go on.
Yes, what I was trying to say is that the whole thing got to get through a land dispute between two people. One claimed to be a private developer and the owner who bought it from another person. But that didn't go down with the second party. I ended up at Chief Palace, came out from there, and ended up, there resulted to a fighting between them. 4 people died, followed by the fifth person, who happened to be the son of the Calabar chief. And there the situation escalated and spread to other communities in the district. As we speak, we are told that unconfirmed reports say that there are some casualties also in the Bola district. And a community also last night, there's unconfirmed reports when I got to the RCT where RESEC meeting was being held. I heard from the security corridor that some people were arrested last night. We are yet to get confirmation from RESEC chairman as to whether it's true and then the number and where they were arrested.
So as you speak, the number of deaths stands at 10?
The security corridor has confirmed 5. But our sources in the community, where people call to give us figures and will ask, is that 1 today, 1 at Tolempekura, and then 2 injured. Now, another community after Bole, then I think the unconfirmed report said that 3 people have also passed on, and then the roadblocks everywhere with the unconfirmed arrest made by the security personnel yesterday. This confirmation, we are on standby to get that from the police and for that matter, the RESEC chairman, sorry to be Ruby.
So as we speak, the RESEC meeting is still ongoing?
Yes, please.
Okay. But what is the situation in the town right this very moment?
The Bole is somehow better, but the entire Solotuna district, you can talk about some dotted communities around the district, outside the district capital. These communities have become ghost towns. You go to Gbenyiri, where the origins, the thing started. Similar thing, the Calabar, you can see a skeleton number of people and a good number of them around the Chief Palace. But entirely, majority of the men have left their communities.
Okay.
And they are residing where nobody can tell. So you can say they are in the bush and waiting for things to normalize for them to return. As to when things will normalize is what one cannot tell. Security presence is very visible in Sola, Tona, Gbenyiri, and that of Calabar.
All right. Isaac, thank you so much. And you are keeping an eye on this RESEC meeting. Hopefully we'll come back to you on the decision that RESEC will take after this emergency meeting currently ongoing at the Regional Coordinating Council. Let me give you the final words on this matter, Mr. Richard Kumado. So RESEC says they will adopt some measures. I mean, from your own, expert view, we've been told that there's been some arrests. We don't know how many yet, but how should they approach this?
People have shot people dead. Let's pray that those who shot the gun were the ones who have been arrested. Now that they have been arrested, what next? Once you shoot a gun and kill somebody, you're a murderer. And we have enough laws in this country to deal with that. I have always had a problem when you have politicians as the heads of RESEC and DISEC. What about when they get complicated into the matter? Or when they have become accomplices? And that particular structure of our dissertation of security management has been a major, major, major problem for us as a nation.
Right.
When police people do so well to arrest criminals, we must allow the law to work. If we keep on holding the hands of the police, then the tendency of them looking on whilst we kill ourselves as civilians is very high. Let's hope and pray that the people who have been arrested will be put before court if it has been proven that they are actually the ones who shot a gun and killed their enemies or their friends or loved ones.
All right. Mr. Kumado, thank you so much. And of course, we're keeping an eye on this matter. RESEC is currently meeting on this matter. We'll go back to the Savannah Range if there's development. But related to this, the Eastern South Regional Police Command, they've also arrested 10 individuals and seized 9 firearms in a series of targeted operations in Akwatia. The recovered weapons include 8 pump-action shotguns and locally manufactured single barrel gun. In a Facebook post, the police explained that the operations are part of a broader crackdown on illegal possession and use of firearms during election-related activities. Here are excerpts from the Facebook statement that the police put out regarding this particular matter, and that is what you have on your screens now. And the police have been explaining the weapons that they seized. They say the seizures form part of intensified efforts to prevent the unlawful possession and use of weapons during the electoral process. And that by-election is just some few days away. So the post also explains where the men or those who were in possession of the arms were picked up. And they have some suspects in custody, one Bernard Kunyofosu, and a search on him led to the discovery of others. And then the suspect admitted ownership of the firearm. It actually produced a valid license, but is currently in custody assisting investigation with the exhibits retained for verification. Right, so, and then another Chinese national also picked up in the process. So this is what the police puts on their Facebook page announcing this particular arrest and seizure of the firearms around the Akwatia area. And Akwatia is very important because with September 2nd fast approaching, all eyes once now are turning again to Akwatia in the eastern region. The town heads back to the polls to elect a new member of parliament following the sudden passing of the MPP's NS Kumi. Now, security already is high alert, with police deploying personnel to maintain camera. Already 600 police personnel already there, and 4,000 more will join them before the by-election. In just 8 days, residents will cast their vote once more. But the big question remains, what's truly at stake? There's more in the following report.
Since 1996, Akwachia's parliamentary seat has been a political battlefield. 4 wins for the MPP, 3 for the NDC. In the last election, Ernest Kumi scraped through with just over 2,000 votes for the MPP. But what should have been a routine declaration turned into hours of delays, heated disputes, and bitter accusations. The NDC still insists they were the real winners.
That result is neither here nor there. It's completely rejected. It will be treated with contempt, and we don't consider Akwatia completed.
Now, the contest is back on. Lawyer Bernard Bediako-Beidu is leading the NDC's charge, while the MPP is banking on Solomon Kwame Esumedu. But the stakes are higher this time. For the NDC, victory will secure an unprecedented 2/3 majority. For the MPP, defeat would cut deeper into their already fragile 88 seats in parliament. The ground is tense.
Saying is that for the new patriotic party, we are going to protect ourselves.
600 police officers have been deployed.
They are going to soften the ground. I want to assure you that the police will deal decisively with those people. And I think their cowards, they cannot come.
With more than 52,000 voters set to decide, this by-election is shaping up to be far more than just a local contest. It is a fight for pride, power, and political survival. For the NDC, the aim is to win.
They won NDC. MPP, look, when you are looking at the dissent, it tells you that something is wrong with the MPP in that constituency.
For the MPP, the mission is not to lose.
If you take the budget of the NDC for 2025, there is no any plan for the good people of Akwatia.
For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
Right, so Akwatia is obviously heating up. The Chief of Staff led a government delegation to campaign in the area over the weekend. Now let me bring in the political parties because this seat will be fiercely contested. Joining me via Zoom right now is the NDC's Deputy Director of Election, Rashid Tanko Computer. Also on the line is Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, Haruna Mohammed. So, gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome. So, we've got some few days to go already. This morning, the police is communicating to the public. They've arrested some individuals in possession of firearms and cartridges. First, let me start with you, Rashid Tango Computer. I mean, is the place being set up for what could be a violent confrontation? Is that how you see it?
My brother, let me say good afternoon to you and my colleague, Alhaji Haruna, and your cherished viewers. But let me take the opportunity to thank the Yana and Dan Yana for bestowing me this beautiful address that I put on today, and the title of Chief Computer the First. I'm grateful to the Yana for the honor. I'm grateful. But let me tell you, we've already told supporters of MPP and their leadership that, look, they should have confidence in the police. When we met the IGP, we expressed confidence in the police for making sure that they will protect everybody and protect life and property so that we can have peaceful election. But our colleagues said they wanted to protect themselves. So they started that episode. You see, the people they've arrested, they are MPP people. They are the people. They don't want to let the general public go. But I'm telling you, because they want to test the ground. And they warn that anybody who comes in there with any offensive weapon, the person will not get away with it. And then we have to thank the police for the arrest, just to let others know that they cannot get away with it.
But Tango, how do you conclude that this may be people linked to the MPP?
Well, is it not the MPP who said they will go and protect themselves? We said we will rely on the state security. So we are not bringing anybody who will not come in there to say we are going to protect ourselves and all that. We say we rely on the state security. We have confidence in the police, whatever they are doing. But they said they will protect themselves. So what do you expect?
But as you speak, police has not even finished their investigation to establish the identities and what exactly why they are in possession of firearms. What we do know, however, is that they are licensed to carry them. In fact, the individuals that were arrested, including a Chinese national.
At this time moment, whether you have license or you don't have license, you are not allowed to go there with such a weapon. What license are they going to tell us? To do what? So that in that case, they will smuggle all manner of weapons into the place just because they stated that they want to protect themselves. These are the things we are talking about. Because they made that statement that they wanted to protect themselves, we know that this is the thing they are going to do. These are the things they are planning. And I'm happy the IGP is up to the task to make sure that you arrest them one by one. Whether you have it or not, we are going to arrest you. And I'm happy because they told us, we were in the meeting, and they told us that, look, talk to your people. We have spoken to our people. We have spoken to our leadership. We have spoken to our activists, our supporters, to behave and not to do anything that would disturb the peace in Akwatia. These people said they want to protect themselves. And now the chickens are home to roost. Can't you see what is going on now?
Let me allow Haruna his initial reaction to the police arrest of these individuals as they begin their investigation. Haruna.
Thank you very much. I will say good afternoon to Chief Computer the First. In any event, the YANA have to install His Excellency Nana Adudankwa Akufo-Addo, Nana Abudani the First. And if he's getting Chief Computer the First, well, it means that you have to get a lot of computers to be submitted to our revered king of that bomb. We call him the Sal Nana, Nana. So be prepared to get him a lot of computers. You cannot be a chief of computer and then you would not submit a lot of IT gadgets to him. Having said so, I think that it's not surprising that I'm listening to my brother who is at his usual best of doing propaganda. These are security matters. We have indicated that we have the right in the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana to defend ourselves. And in that manner, nobody is doing anything at all that is going to endanger the peace within the electoral affairs of the jurisdiction of Akwatia. And I can assure him, I did say on this particular platform that we would use our bare hand to defend ourselves. So basically, if you look at the arrest, I've read through the statement, and I'm happy that you are pointing out that these persons or some of them have been identified to have valid licenses to carry them. I don't know the motive in which some of these particular persons who are licensed are even remanded in custody. But in any case, on Monday, when I was coming from the north, on the stretch of the Eastern Corridor, after Atimpoku, yes, the police were doing their anti-robbery search.
Right.
And I think that is a routine thing that the police is doing, not only basically related to Akwatia. I think that it is good that the police is able to weed out unlicensed weapons. when people are licensed and there is a good reason for them not to have it, I think that the police need to properly educate people on such a matter. But I think that licensing a gun and carrying it is for a personal protection, and personal protection has no limitation. So if this is properly investigated and the police situate this to be an election-related carrying or it's an individual protection, I think that police in their professional conduct will find a way to deal with this.
But I'm curious to know, Haruna, before you move on, in all the meetings that you've had with the police, I mean, is there a definite statement that nobody is allowed to carry arms into Akwatia, license or unlicensed?
Yeah, if the police will be able to lead up to that, and the media, I'm happy, will be there on election day.
Right.
Reportage will come out, we'll see people who are actually wielding guns within Akwatia. But we have spoken to our people, we have the right to defend, and we would make sure that our lack of trust in the work of the Ghana police would lead to us protecting ourselves. We are not intending to use any weapon to protect ourselves. It doesn't matter whether somebody is holding what, somebody is holding what, and he's doing what. You have the right to protection. So the police is to protect, but our trust, lack of trust for them is something that is very worrying. One, the police has always issued statements, official statements, when it comes to the arrest of individuals.
Right.
When we were told that 8 people in Ablekuma North, illegal elections and violence that happened in Ablekuma North were arrested, did you see any reports or statements that were put out and signed by the Ghana police? This is not the reportage that we usually get. It is just them standing and saying it. No evidence. Nobody has been arraigned before court up to today. So how do you get the confidence and the trust that the police will be doing a good work? But I think that Akwatia will open up the gateway. Many people will get to understand what this DNDC party is. They always approbate and reprobate, and we will watch out. This is not going to deter anybody. We are not interested in carrying weapons. They can seize all the weapons in the world. That will not stop them from the defeat in Akwatia.
Right.
We are very resolute and we are very grounded, and we make sure that we win this seat to honor our late MP, which is Honorable NS.
The few matters I'll come to, including the visit by the Chief of Staff and some comments that he made. But Haruna, before I go to Mr. Rashid Tanko, the police already, they've got 600 individuals there. I mean, they according to the police, the initial deployment, they are hoping to beef that up with over 4,000 more. Clearly, the police is not leaving anything to chance, including a mobile, prison program that they will also be adopting on election day. But all of this remain on paper until you see the police in charge on election day. But I'm curious to know whether the MPP has confidence in the arrangements so far put together by the police.
The police will have to demonstrate and prove us, because the police were available in Ablekuma and all the violence activities happened. The police were watching on when all the activities were happening. When people were being kicked like football, the police were watching. All the activities that happened don't have like police. So I have said it before on your station that we are not looking at quantity. We are not looking at quantity. We are looking at quality. The quality and level of professionalism that's being done. I think that is what is going to set the stage. So we want to urge our people. We have heard that they have sold some uniforms for their security people to go to Akwatia, and they are going to cause mayhem. They should not bring people in the name of security and put uniforms on them and come and give them guns to be wielding them and going around. We are very aware. We know the uniforms that they are going to use. And anybody that we found in that particular uniform, we will personally arrest the person and hand the person to the Ghana Police Service. So we are very focused on the ground. Our silence should not be equated cowardice, and that is what we want the NDC to know.
So as far as the MPP is concerned, they will not recognize anybody rather than the police on election day.
If there is no recognized, we know what the military were. We know what prisons were.
So far, we know
what national security were. We also know what the police were. All the series of uniforms that the police wear, we know. If we find anybody that's wearing a uniform that is not an accredited security uniform, we arrest and hand over to the police.
So far, we've not been told whether the military will play
our amount of our time. We are going to make sure that we are very consistent.
All right. Thank you, computer. So, I mean, you heard the MPP. Police says that they are in charge. Do you also expect to see only police deployment on election day?
Well, when we met the police with their election security task force, they told us everything, how they are going to handle the elections. The MPP, they were there. They were represented by 3 officers, senior officers of the party. They know the deployment plan of the police on that day.
Right.
I mean, the police cannot determine for other agencies who are also part and parcel of the national security setup. Don't forget, when we talk of election security task force, it's not only for police.
Right.
The military is part of it, immigration, fire service, custom, they're all part of the national security, election security task force. And so my good brothers should know that there are other agencies who are also part of it. But the lead is the police. Yes, we all agree. And we are saying that they are noted for coming to elections with offensive weapons. We saw it in Ablikwanov. The only political party that came to election polling station with offensive weapon was NPP. They came there. One of their senior officers was holding pepper spray. No NDC person was arrested holding any dangerous weapon. It was only MPP.
But holding pepper spray is not illegal.
Oh, it's an illegal thing. It's stated as one of the illegal dangerous weapons which is not allowed during election area. The items they've listed, if you go and look at it, pepper spray is one of them. So what she was holding was a dangerous weapon, as described by the Election Security Task Force. That was it. And it was an MPP officer who was holding it. No NDC officer was arrested with any weapon of that sort. So they have a history. We don't have it. And then we are saying that we will still comply with the police. But they say they want to defend themselves. And we are saying that if somebody use that want to defend yourself, you must watch them closely. Because they have a history of misbehaving at polling stations that lead to a story that we don't want. And that's what we are telling them. Look, they are going to lose this election. They've even lost it before the first ballot is cast, because the people are ready to vote for NDC. When our chief of staff went there and met the chiefs, the opinion leaders, you heard their promises. They all pledged. They want to be part of the reset agenda. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing fantastic. And then so they want to join it, that reset agenda.
But on that,
they also want to have the fruit of their labor.
On that and the comments from the chief of staff that the NDC government is very interested in developing Akwatia, and actually thrown an invitation to them that they should bring at least 3 chiefs or opinion leaders to the Jubilee House so that they can discuss Akwatia's development. Why now that we have an election coming up?
I am saying that we are barely 8 months in office. People are enjoying the better Ghana under the reset agenda. They are enjoying it. And so if the chief of staff extends similar invitation to them, that's good for them. They should come. They should bring their development paradigm, what they want. They will look at it and then see the areas that they need agency of support from the presidency. Within 8 months, go and see other constituencies. And I'm saying that this is not a campaign promise. It's a doable object that he has given to them. And they know that we are going to deliver. They know we have a history of delivery.
And he chose to do this. He chose to do this knowing very well that we've got few days to the elections.
Oh, I am saying that governance is continuous. That's why I said the other time on your platform that the fact that we are going to have election on 2nd September doesn't mean that governance should not continue. Governance will continue. And we are saying that the president is not in town. He has represented the president over there and informed them, look, you can bring your chiefs to come and tell us what you expect us to do within the shortest possible time.
Right.
Because within this period, a lot of communities, a lot of districts have started enjoying. You don't have an MP now. Unfortunately, your MP died. May his soul rest in perfect peace. We are all mourning him. There is a replacement. Thank God, a reset agenda is enrolling. You need to be part of it. So that if you send a person from your outfit to come and join the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it makes it easier for you. But if you go and vote MPP, they will only be giving you press conferences. It's only press conference they can give. You know them. That's what they will present to you.
Let me allow some reactions from Haruna. So Haruna, the claim here is that perhaps the NDC is using the upcoming parliamentary by-election to sort of pull the chiefs to the side of the NDC. The chief of staff says that bring your people, let's sit down and discuss development. Some are questioning the timing of this.
I think that I must commend you as a very professional media person for bringing up the issues in perspective. What is different from what happened in Kumu when the NDC were all over, when even 2024 was a year of roads. When we were constructing roads, we told them that no matter how, if there is by-election, it doesn't mean that governance stops, right? So these were roads that were captured in the budget of the New Patriotic Party government. And we were doing them. When we went to Asino, roads were happening. They were seeing that because of the by-election. Today, it's just in. You see, these entities are very honest. They would never be truthful to the good people of Ghana. Again, we were on government. We were in government, right? And in Asino, the Asino people failed to vote for the government of the day and vote for an opposition party. So it is not straight jacket that when you are in government and you are going for by-election, the people will choose somebody to come and represent you. And you see, let me tell you how dishonest the chief of staff is.
Right.
The chief of staff, with a stroke of a pen, can instruct many things to happen in this country. And when the budget was being prepared for Ghana in 2025, they did not find the need to capture anything on Akwatia. All the big push that they have put through, there is nothing that is captured for Akwatia. Today you are inviting and looking in the face of the chiefs of Akwatia and tell them that you are inviting them to the Jubilee House for them to discuss the issues of development in Akwatia. I think that it is too late. The Osewo, who is the chief of Wenchi, is a paramount chief among the paramount chiefs in the area. Look, was part of very strategic institutions that champions the development of the Achim area and the eastern region and the Esiwo traditional area. So for me, I think that the NDC is exhibiting their lack of honesty and sincerity when it comes to governance system. We are not going to be moved by what they are doing. Like I told you, look, victory doesn't need a lot of noise. We are going to win this election. We are going to maintain it and honor the member of parliament, the late member of parliament, who is currently resting, waiting for him to be sent for his final rest. So for us, we are not moved, but his speech, all that he has said is lack of confidence and dishonesty, because you cannot continue to do this. And now you are coming back. And that's why I always say that the NDC party, they are always approbating and reprobating. These are the people. You see them. They will start singing. That is how they are. So for me, I am not disturbed, but it is a fact that the truth has now been established. They were singing a different song when we were in Kumu. They were singing a different song when we were in Asino. We were singing a different song when we were in Ejisu. Today they are telling you, the Deputy Director of Election is telling you, no matter how, if there is by-election, it doesn't mean that governance stops.
Right.
I am happy. Dr. Tanko Rashid Computer, thank you very much for realizing the truth today. And you are championing the truth and you have said it to the good people of Ghana. This is the NDC that we have. They will come to tell you the truth tomorrow when the truth dawns on them. And that is what we always say. Right. We in the MPP, we have always maintained one standard: honesty, truth, diligence, and serving the people where it matters most. And that is what we always stand for.
All right, thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. Haruna Mohammed is a Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, and Rashid Tanko Computer, a Deputy Director of Elections with the NDC. And the stage is set. The election is coming up on September 3 in Akwatia. It's a parliamentary by-election. And closely related to matters of politics is that a youth group, the Northern MPP Concerns Youth, is demanding that MPP presidential hopeful Dr. Brian Champon issues an unqualified apology to fellow contender Dr. Mamadou Bawumia over a recently trending video they've condemned as ethnic bigotry. Now, the group says when that is done, it will serve as a deterrent to others who engage in similar behavior. Speaking at a news conference in Tamale, Communications Director Alhassan Mohammed Suwawi described Dr. Champon's comments as unguided and likely to undermine the progress of the MPP that the MPP has made in the 5 northern regions.
All groups and individuals continue to condemn New Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful Dr. Bagre Champon's recent comments regarding Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's performance in the North. The critics argued that his remarks about Dr. Bawumia's loss being attributed to tribal dynamics amounts to tribal bigotry. The latest to mount an attack is the Northern MPP youth in Tamale. Addressing the press conference, Communication Director of the group, Alhassan Mohammed Suwawi, said the attack on the former Vice President are needless and stem from perceived hatred towards Northerners.
We have taken his comments as unguided and tend to derail the progress made by MPP in the 5 northern regions. Indeed, Dr. Bagre Champon distasteful and unwanted attacks on the revered former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia are needless and stem from perceived hatred towards Northerners. The MPP as a national party abhors discriminatory political discussions and embraces all manner of people irrespective of one's religious and ethnic background. Therefore, these avoidable ethnic bigotry remarks came as a shock to us as a youth of the party.
Mr. Suwawi said the party's loss at the 2024 elections stems on several factors which went beyond the flag bearer.
And truth be told, the party lost the 2024 elections on several factors which went beyond the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and it's imperative for Dr. Bagre Champon to speak to hardcore facts and disease from doubling in ethnic and chieftaincy, sentiments. On records, our flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in the history of the Fourth Republic, campaigned more than any of the presidents or the flag bearers in the country. And this is based on the number of times he went around the country with a clear message for the party. So even if Dr. Bagre Champon won't pay Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia back, he shouldn't go on this dangerous path of being an ethnic bigot to court the attention of the delegates and Ghanaians as a whole.
Well, we've got more coming your way in today's edition of The Pulse. We'll take a short break right now, though, and return with more stories coming your way this afternoon. Stay put. Welcome back. This is The Pulse here on Joy News. Now, let's talk about something that has become a perennial matter, but yet we appear to be running away from finding a major solution to deal with this. And we are back at this time of the year again because farmers along the Bagre Dam are racing against time to harvest their crops as water level on the White Volta rise. Now, Sonabel, the Akwatia-By Power Company, has scheduled the spillage for August 27, that's Wednesday, but brought it forward to today after the dam hit 90.24% capacity. Communities along the White Volta have been asked to take precaution, but the sudden notice has sparked fear of widespread crop destruction. Joy News' Upper East correspondent Beso reports that farmers are frantically harvesting before their fields are submerged.
Yes, the other day we passed here and crossed this our farm line without even any water here. But as yesterday when we came, it started coming to a knee level, ankle level. But today we are almost at a waist level, crossing to the farmlands. So we believe that the water is already in. After rainwater alone, normally it doesn't come long. When it comes more, then it goes down again. But this one,
just the water later. So this could just become rain.
Okay, but though the rainwater were actually coming, but I think that because their water is also on the way, it's also compounding the issues, and the water level is rising to the farmlands. But we are doing everything. The soil is very fertile. We don't even apply fertilizer. As you can see, they are doing well. But the dry lands, you need fertilizer, and the cost of fertilizer is not easy. So sometimes when we do it, and then we are lucky and the water is not able to come. We harvest, bumper harvest. So for that reason, a lot of farmers still love to farm around the boundaries because of the soil nature.
So were you able to get some sort of harvest before this month? Like,
yeah, some got, but majority, I think it will help a lot because from here all even to the northern region is the Bagre Dam will flood everything. And in fact, to farm around the river because it's so fertile. Without fertilizer, you still harvest. Even if you farm, you may farm, but you can't get money to buy fertilizer and apply. So it's difficult for farmers to be able to farm uplands because the uplands will not give them anything. But as they are shown like this, one is okay, they can harvest that one, but the rest that is not mature, it means the water will come and take them off. And the water coming is not only the food stuff that it comes to take away from. It takes our animals, it takes human lives and all that along. So we are pleading to the government to build a Palgo multi-purpose dam for us so that it will enhance farmers and everybody.
In terms of any sort of help they are going to give if your farms are submerged?
3 days back, I was in the house when TVT called on me and I met them. And actually we went around advising people to harvest because the water, the Bagre Dam will be opening around 27.
You went around with Nadmo?
No, we went around alone first, but Nadmo also came yesterday to go around and see how. But earlier on, I've already gone around advising people to harvest their maize and whatever they have along the river banks, that the water may come on 27th onwards. So I did advise farmers that every year round, if the rains had rained earlier, people will have harvested the maize, everything off. But at times it will rain once and it will not rain again. And if it rains once too and you come and show it, it means there won't be germination.
Right, so let me bring in Albert Sorry from the Upper East region. Also joining me is my colleague Martina Bugri from the Northern region. Remember, at the peak of this, you are likely to see the water drip all the way from Burkina Faso, even to parts of the Bono and then the Bono East region. So, Albert, first, let me just find, I've seen the videos that you've shared with us, quite devastating. And I wonder whether the farmers are ready to move to higher grounds. Because of their livelihoods, are they ready to do so?
For their settlements are not in the water basin. What they have in the area where the water from the lake usually.
I think that there's some connection issues too, Albert. Albert, we can't hear you. Let's see if we can rectify that so we can have a better connection to you. But Martina Bugri is also on the line. So Martina, you are in the northern region. Is the region starting to feel the impact of the spillage?
Felt yet, but say now, for instance, they gave them a piece of land in Dallo, move and resettle there, but the place is empty. People are farming there. Nobody has been able to move because they are unable to construct themselves. And so they are locked up at the bank like that. And each year they open the dam. It floods their homes, floods their farms, and they eventually lose everything and restart again. But they are unwilling to move from these communities up to safer grounds. And one other thing is that those who didn't plant early are likely not to harvest anything because some are still tasseling and some are, even though they are grown, but they are not fully matured. But those who were able to plant early are harvesting already, and they are actually raising against time because they do not know when the water would arrive in that area. I spoke to the Northern Regional Director of NADMO on what they are planning to do ahead. He says that they are undertaking some sensitization in communities along the white and black border. He says that they've also started monitoring in case there would be a need for an emergency evacuation. He says they've also identified some places where if these floods come, they'll be able to rescue people and settle them. And one other thing is that he says they are going to work with the military team. He says they are also mobilizing resources, even though he's unable to tell us exactly what they are mobilizing. Now, he says until they are able to gather, they will not be able to disclose what they have.
But Martina, before you go, I mean, these measures that they are telling you, are these measures not too late in the day? They want to undertake sensitization when the spillage has already taken place?
So they started the sensitization when the rain started. Remember that it's an annual thing. Almost every year we experience these floods. So I'm told that they started earlier this year, speaking to the communities that there could be a possible spillage this year. So they should begin. Initially, they were told not to actually even go to their farms and farm. They should look elsewhere and farm. But with Calcitran, people would always go. I mean, which they say is not their fault, though, because they do not have places to go and farm. So they're hoping that they'll be able to harvest before the rains come. So what we're being told is that they did the sensitization, but just a reminder that, look, the time has come, you need to leave.
Right. Albert, so, I mean, the connection is better now, and we are told that some want to undertake what they describe as premature harvesting because they can't stand to lose their investment.
Yes, Elton. So as I was saying, they have their farms in the basin of the lake where every year they farm. Now, you would hear one of the farmers saying that the lands there are very fertile. And assuming they even want to leave these lands and go upland, then they will need fertilizer. They may even need more water to be able to cultivate, on the lands that are uphill. And some don't even have lands there. So what they have around the lake is almost the only choice that they have.
Right.
So normally they would start cultivation very early in the hope that they can harvest before the floods come. Some are able to succeed, others are not able to because the rains are not consistent. And so this morning, the people that I met at the White Volta Lake were trying to harvest their corn. In fact, they even removed the cob to show me how unripe the corn was. It's not produce they can use for anything. The only thing they can do is to roast it and eat it as soon as possible. They cannot store it and use it for any other purpose. They can't even get the seed they will need next year to plant, from this produce that they are collecting at the moment. And so that is the situation. They are saying that, the rise of the water level in the lake is moving so fast that if they don't harvest what they have close to the lake as soon as possible, they are going to lose everything if the rise in the water continues as it is going at the moment.
I remember last 2 or 3 years ago, we recorded deaths from the spillage. And is NADMO, the Regional Coordinating Council, doing anything to protect human lives?
Normally, they do education. So you would find that some people, like these people who are collecting their, trying to harvest what they have as soon as possible, they may be able to get something. But others, would have a situation where their farms get submerged and they have to use places too flooded with canoes or even trying to get into the water when it's too deep.
And we have activated all the existing committees within the NADMO in the Northern region, which include the Regional Disaster Management Committee and the District Disaster Management Committee to be on alert of the land. Yeah.
Right. High-risk areas.
Come again?
These are high-risk areas.
Yes. So, inshallah, with this year, education has gone down well. And I'm sure we are likely to record it to affected.
So when you say they have moved to where? To go and live with families in areas that will not be affected, or NADMO has created a temporary camp for them?
No, please. They have moved to, there are some communities. Community are advised to be very careful when entering flood water, as it may be carried along, such as with dangerous reptiles such as snakes.
Right.
So we have told them that they should not get to the water, because as the water is coming, they are coming alongside with the dangerous reptiles. Example, snakes is one of them. So we have given them those educations. So after this year, NADMO is well prepared, and our message have gone down well to the likely affected communities. Yeah.
And so, Mr. Buhari, what has been the response? Are the people playing along? Are they the 98,000? Have they moved already, or they are now harvesting before they move? Because already the spillage has been undertaken. The water is coming down gradually. We've seen videos of even farms that are already almost submerged under flood waters. And so have they moved, or they are waiting to see evidence of the water in their community before they will move?
If you can remember, before I begin with this, I told you that don't get to me. It's better than leave me to go.
Right.
You understand me?
I do.
So they have moved already.
Okay.
They have moved already. About 95,823 people along those communities have packed their things and moved.
Okay.
So they have seen what happened to them last year. So that is what I say this year, education have gone down well.
Okay. So beyond the education and the place that they have moved, I asked earlier on about the support that NADMO is giving them, and whether you have maybe a camp for those who may not have family members they may stay with. Is there a camp that you've created, and what other support you are giving them beyond them? Because some of them are most likely are going to lose their livelihood for good. And then once that they are in shelters for the temporal time that they would be, what is the support for them from NADMO, or better still, from the Regional Coordinating Council?
Yes, as I speak to you now, this morning we're expecting the team from Accra to come to the northern region so that we will move there together. And like you said, you can't just, some of them may not have family close to the affected area. So as the team come from Accra, when we get it, I think we'll be able to see how best we can also put our hands to support them.
And for those who prefer to stay, despite the advice and education given them, they definitely will be on their own. Is that on this matter? Because the spillage started this morning already. Some farms have already been submerged. We'll take a short break here on the program. When we return, we're back, and of course, let's talk about examination and the issues relating to it. Now, concerns over rising examination malpractices in the ongoing 2025 WASSCE, that's the West African Senior High School Certificate Examination, have deepened after an invigilator at the Forces Senior High Technical School was caught with questions from subjects including picture marking and oral English on his mobile phone. Now, the incident comes as WAEC steps out effort to clamp down on students and teachers engaged in the practice.
2025 WASSCE progresses, concerns are mounting over the rising cases of examination malpractice. On a tour of some examination centers with the WAEC delegation, the national head of WAEC, Dr. Mrs. Rosamond Wilson, explained that the surge is more visible this year because stringent measures have been introduced to clamp down on both students and teachers involved in the practice. At Forces Senior High Technical School, an invigilator was found with a mobile phone. Upon further questioning, it was discovered that his mobile phone contained questions from subjects including picture making and oral English. The phone has since been confiscated for further investigations.
One invigilator was in possession of a mobile phone, and the invigilators are not supposed to take mobile phones to the examination hall. So we have taken the matter up and we will deal with it. The mobile phone had a write-up of, it had some of our questions for the previous exams they have written, like picture making, English orals. It had some of those questions on it and also answers to the questions on it.
Touching on the recent release of the BEC results and concerns raised by parents and teachers over students' performance, Dr. Wilson dismissed suggestions of any challenges. She emphasized that the results reflect exactly what the candidates produced, stressing that both the syllabus and the marking scheme were without fault.
The same curriculum that we use for BEC, which we obtained from GES, was used, and the questions were from the same syllabus. So there is no reason why they shouldn't perform well, but maybe because of the way they learned for the exam.
Well, schools across the Ashanti region have become high security zones as administrators restrict movement to enforce anti-malpractice rules. To avoid WAEC sanctions, institutions like TI and MAS have shut offices, banned vendors, and sealed examination parameters, allowing only candidates and selected teachers to patrol halls. Assistant Headmaster of Academics Henry Edem Dentem says the school is resolute in preventing interference.
And from WAEC,
yeah, a lot of measures internally that we ourselves we put up. We selected special teachers who help us with searching the students before they enter the examination room. Some restricted food vendors, all offices in the school are closed. Yes, so that, and other students are also restricted so that nobody will interfere with the exams. We carefully also selected our invigilators. We did series of briefing for them so that we are all prepared for the exams. Yes.
Is there any other thing you want to add?
I think that generally we have to encourage the students so that they do their best. We are hoping that when they sit up and they study, yes, they will produce the desired results that we all expect. Thank you very much.
Let me bring in the Public Relations Officer of the West African Examination Council, Mr. John Kapi. Mr. Kapi, so far your assessments of the examination?
Good afternoon. It's been a while.
Right.
Well, yeah, so far we can say that things have gone on quite well. On our part, the things that we would usually do before the examination starts, we've been able to do all of it. We've been able to send question papers to all the centers. We have not received any reports of shortage in terms of the number of question papers. We've not also received any issues about difficulties on the part of candidates to be able to sit the examination. So far, I would say that everything has gone on quite well.
Right. So apart from this invigilator, this body who was caught with examination questions on his mobile phone, are there other incidents that have come to your notice?
For now, no. Today is the first day that we've had a major paper written, and so by close of day, I'm sure our monitors will send us some reports, and then maybe from those reports we'll be able to tell whether there are any issues with some of the invigilators and supervisors. But for now, no other reports have reached us.
Right. So clearly everything is going according to plan.
Well, as of now, we can say that things are going according to plan. We haven't received any negative reports from any of the areas here.
And I also see that some schools have taken matters into their own hands. For example, Tia Media in Ashanti region, they've taken their own measures to ensure that nothing interferes with the ongoing examination. And I'm sure this will come as a step in the right direction as far as WAEC is concerned.
Absolutely, because we have held a number of sessions with them in terms of trying to give them a lot of briefing on the rules and regulations that, they need to apply in the course of the examination. We've also asked that they also sign some kind of undertaking, because most of the time when these things occur, it is the candidates that we usually punish, and then maybe the teachers who would have been collaborators would go scot-free. So this time around, I believe that the school authorities are putting in place measures to ensure that, everything that has to be done is done, in order that they don't have, their names flying in the wrong direction, if you want, because obviously if there are reports of irregularities in any institution, their names will come up, and that wouldn't augur well for them for now and even for the future.
But do we have CCTV cameras in the examination halls?
As we speak, I do not have any reports of any centers where there are CCTV cameras.
All right. And then, enlighten us on this. In the BEC results that just got released, 177 students have had their, papers cancelled.
Yes, we released the results last Saturday, and 177 candidates have had their entire results cancelled for infractions of the examination rules. Yeah, and then we have a few of them also who have subject results cancelled, and then others also have had their results withheld, for further scrutiny.
And are these individuals, or, for example, students from a particular school, or these are just individuals that pay your own investigation? Something did not tally for you?
So we have some individual candidates. For example, when you look at the release that we had, the 718 subject results cancelled. These are individual candidates who were picked up in the course of the examination and whose statements were taken, and who had admitted to the offense for which they were picked up. Now, if you go further on in the statement, you'll find out that we also have about 119 schools whose subject results have been cancelled. Now, so it means that, for example, School A, School B, School C may have had, let's say, English language, or may have had mathematics or RME or something cancelled. So about 119 schools. So let's say for those 119 schools, they may have, for the entire school, a particular subject cancelled for them all. And then we also have about 87 schools who have candidates whose subject results have been withheld for further scrutiny. So we are still working on these, and for those that have been withheld, and hopefully by the 6th of September, as our statement says, we should be able to release all the results. That is, if they have to be released or cancelled, if we have to cancel them.
So for those with cancellation, there's no remedy for them. They will have to rewrite.
Well, for those whose results have been cancelled, there's no remedy. They'll have to certainly rewrite, yes.
And there's no punishment for them beyond the cancellation?
No, it depends. No, usually when the results are released and your results are cancelled, it could be either that you had a mobile phone on you, or you assaulted an examination official. Now, it could be verbal, it could be physical assault. Now, so if there's any assault on any examination official, you would have your entire results cancelled, and you'll be barred for a period not less than 2 years. But then if it's a mobile phone infraction, the very next year, you can, apply, you can register again and write as a private candidate.
And for the students in question, is there anyone that is likely to face further action beyond the cancellation?
From the reports I have so far, none of these candidates is going to face any other sanctions apart from what we have done so far.
All right, Mr. Kapi, we'll keep monitoring this particular space. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon here on the Pulse. The news just coming in. The Ministry of Defense has just released a statement on the helicopter accident that claimed the lives of the Defense Minister, the Environment Minister, and then 6 others, including military officers. The ministry, in a statement, is informing the public that the investigation board established to inquire into the recent Z9 helicopter crash has formally commenced work. The board is chaired by the National Security Coordinator, with membership drawn from the Ghana Air Force and the Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation Prevention Bureau of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. The United States of America is also providing advice and assistance to the board through visiting investigators from the U.S. Air Force. Also, the board may also invite other relevant experts and institutions, both local and international, to assist with the investigation. It will be recalled that on the day of the incident, August 6, 2025, a preliminary investigation team was constituted to gather all available evidence relating to the crash in support of the board's work. The preliminary investigation team is scheduled to submit its report to the board today. The investigation board has been mandated to complete its work within 30 days. And that is the new information coming through from the Ministry of Defense. And that is what you have on your screens now. The investigation has just started, and the investigation team is chaired by the National Security Coordinator. Members are drawn from the Ghana Air Force, Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation and Prevention Bureau of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. There's also the United States of America. They are providing advice and assistance to the board through visiting investigators from the U.S. Air Force. And then the team that first responded to this accidents and started some kind of investigation, they are presenting their report to the board today. And the investigation, which started this morning, is expected to be complete and work submitted within 30 days. That is the news coming in right now. Now, Ghana is exploring the cultivation of cannabis for industrial and medicinal purposes under a law that has already been passed. Now, Alexander Chumberima, Deputy Director General of the Enforcement, Control and Elimination at the Narcotics Control Board, told the AM show today that if approved, the move would create new opportunities for research, export, and economic growth. We'll also hear from him shortly. But first, the story of 23-year-old Veronica, not her real name though, who is battling drug addiction at the Confadoti Teaching Hospital after being introduced to cocaine, marijuana, and opiates by her boyfriend. Health workers warn that her story is far from unique, with teenagers as young as 13 years falling victim to a growing drug epidemic. In our latest hotline documentary, Deadly Doses, Nana Wachi-Yaram exposes a crisis demanding urgent action. Here are excerpts, and that's how we end the show for today. My name is Elton Bob. Have a good evening.
A silent epidemic festers in the shadows. This is beneath homes, schools, the vibrant markets, and busy trotro stations all over the country. It is a crisis that gnaws at the very fabric, robbing Ghana of its future, one youth at a time. In this documentary, I will take you on a journey to two neighborhoods in Kumasi, known not for commerce, but for addiction, desperation, and decay. Tinker Island and Colombia, the notorious drug hubs, as we unmask Ghana's drug epidemic.
I drew time when I say, I damn it, me bonum, no, I made the get the.
According to a report by the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime, domestic drug consumption in Ghana has become an underreported phenomenon. Health professionals working at state-funded psychiatric hospital estimates that about 10% of inpatients and between 20% and 30% of outpatient cases are now linked to substance abuse. The Narcotics Control Commission reviews that there are about 50,000 drug users in Ghana, with 35,000 as students from junior high, senior high, and tertiary institutions aged between 12 and 35 years, while the remaining 15,000 are adults, with 9,000 males and 6,000 females.